Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. I've just come back from my granddaughters. It's 9:15 now. I think I've been home about 15 minutes, maybe it's a little bit more. And I am doing a little bit knitting. And I am sitting here having a well-earned glass of wine. And I'm going to tell you why. I'll have to get myself some proper wine glasses. I haven't got any. This is an ordinary glass. I haven't got any wine glasses. Not very often I drink wine, but I've had this bottle since my birthday in April. I decided I'm going to drink it the night. I like red wine. Well, I went to my granddaughter's today. I normally go on a Thursday because I'm normally at bingo on a Wednesday, but we changed our night to Thursday for one of the places we're going to. They do the bingo on a Thursday, so that's why I changed it. And I don't usually see my granddaughter on a Thursday because she's usually working. But when I went today, she was there today because Craig was working, so she wasn't working. So they take turns, working and looking after the kids. Well, when she picked the kids up from school, the oldest one, Frankie, plays football and he has football practice. Well, Craig wasn't supposed to be at work late today. He was supposed to be very early, about 6 o'clock until 2 or whatever time it was. So he's normally there for to look after the other two, the younger kids, when she takes Frankie to football. But because for some reason he'd had to go in later today, so he wasn't going to be there. So she was worried about having to take the other two with her, and that's what I said, well, don't worry, I'll look after them, you get yourself away. I look after them. I thought, no trouble, they're just two little kids, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Well, it started off after Cheryl left. I've got this big blanket. Well, it's a big, the blanket, it's one of them throw over things, I actually gave it to Cheryl, and it fits across the whole settee. It's like furry on one side and fleece on the other. And at first the two of them were on the settee watching the television with this blanket on, and I was in the kitchen. I was washing up all the dishes from the tea for Cheryl, and then I heard this fighting, the carry on, the shouting, and two of them were fighting over this blanket. Neither of them wanted to share it with the other one. It fits right along the whole width of the settee, but neither of them wanted to share it, and they were fighting over it. And so I says, right, that's it. I says, you cannot share it. You're not going to share. You're not getting it at all. So I took it off them. And then they were arguing about what they were watching on the television, and Tommy's the older one wants something else on the television, and I says, you've got to put something on that you both like. I says, put Paw Patrol on. I says, you both like Paw Patrol. So they watched that for a bit, and then Eddie started getting, well, the seat to sit on is near the television. And neither of them wanted to share that seat. There's enough room on the seat for both of them. It's closer to the television than the settee. Didn't want to share that. So Tommy decided to go upstairs. He went upstairs and put the television on upstairs in his bedroom. So Eddie decided he was going up as well. I thought, oh God, they're going to start fighting up there. So they went upstairs and they were okay for a while. Eddie took his iPad up, and I went up to have a look to make sure, what they were doing. And Eddie was just lying on the floor with his iPad, and Tommy was watching the television. No trouble at all. And then I came back downstairs and I was sitting down doing a little bit knitting. Wasn't bothered about the television. I turned the sound off because I'm not interested in any sort of programs, and I haven't got a clue how the controls works on their television. For a few minutes, and then I heard thump, thump, thump. what they're up to now. So I went up to have a look to see what they were doing. And there's bunks in the bed, in that bedroom. That's for the older boy and Tommy, the 5-year-old. They have the bunks. And they had bean bags. There's 3 bean bags. I had piled them up on the floor. And they were on the top bunk, and they were jumping off the top bunk onto the bean bags. Well, the floor was covered with little bits of toys and things that they had pulled out and never put away. And I'm saying, you can't jump off there. I says, it's too high up for Eddie anyway. So I says, pack it in. You're not jumping off there. I says, he can end up hurting himself. He's too little to climb up them stairs and jump off the top. So they stood there and looked at me, and you know what kids is like. So I said, right, behave yourself. So I went back downstairs again. And I heard thump, thump, thump again. I went up and they were doing it again. He says, right, I'm taking the bean bags out. I says, you're not playing on the bean bags. But in the meantime, they had decided to, on the bottom bunk, and they were sort of rolling off the bottom bunk onto the bean bags. And first I says, oh, well, that's all right, you can do that, as long as you're not jumping off the top bunk. I says, it's too dangerous for Eddie. I says, you can't climb up there. But before I turned me back, Eddie started screaming. He had jumped off the, well, he hadn't jumped, he had rolled off the bottom bunk onto the bean bags, and there must have been some little toys and that underneath I had stuck in him. So at that one I says, right, the bean bags, take them downstairs. Well, the floor is, you know, that wood floor and stuff and all that. So they had the bean bags on the floor, and they were sliding them all over the floor and dunching into the chairs and dunching into the thing where the television was. And then they started fighting again over the one chair that they both wanted to sit on, and neither would share. And I ended up taking the bean bags, I ended up taking the bean bags off them and putting them in the passageway out of the way. I says, you're not playing with them either, because you're just fighting. You're putting them up on the chairs and trying to sit on top of them on the chair. I says, and then both of you are trying to do it, and it's covered. So they went back upstairs again, and I sat down to do a little bit of knitting, and then I could hear all shouting, and I went back up again, and they were fighting again, and Eddie had been hitting Tommy, so Tommy was hitting Eddie back, and only Tommy's a bit older and bigger, and when he hits, it hurts more than what Eddie hits. So I had to tell him off to stop doing that. You stop fighting altogether, the pair of yous. Well, Cheryl finally came back in anyway. I was going to put some supper, some cereal stuff out for that supper, but Cheryl came back, like, and I says to her, it's a good job you're here now, because you would have had to dig them up out the garden. I says, I was going to bury the pair of them. So that was my night, and I came home, my lovely peace and quiet in my lovely quiet house, no kids. Put up with kids so far, but I mean, that was what, from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock, that was 6 hours I put up with them all day to day. Well, from the other 2 older ones coming in from school, but Frankie's no bother. He just goes on his iPad and ignores everything, ignores the kids, and except when they annoy him because they were climbing on at the back of the chair that he was sitting on and digging their feet into the chair and that, and there was a little bit of arguments about that. But they are a right pair of little horrors. Reminded me of my 2 youngest ones. But anyway, another little thing I found out today. Must be years now. I've had an awful lot of trouble with my hair. It's getting thinner, really thin, and my scalp is always itchy, like something not right. And last night, I know I was going in the shower this morning, I'll be washing my hair and that, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try and put some coconut oil on and leave it overnight to soak into my scalp at night because I didn't know what was making it so itchy. I thought it was dandruff, but it's not dandruff. And it was really, you know, I could have writhed my scalp off like that last night. It was so itchy. And something just suddenly dawned on me the day, well, I'm allergic to perfume. I can't wear perfume on my skin. If I wear perfume, I just put it on my clothes. And usually if I'm going out anywhere, it's usually the day I've washed my hair. My hair is very light and fluffy. And it just goes in a right mess, at least a bit wind, you know. So I usually put some lacquer on it to sort of keep it in place. It's usually okay, like after, you know, after the first day. But then it starts getting itchy from the second day right until the day I wash it again. And I never realised what it was, but I just had a thought today and I started looking on the spray can. There's actually perfume in the spray, and I'm saying all these years, no wonder I've had this trouble with my scalp. And I mean, really, I could have pulled my scalp off my head last night. It was that itchy, and that's what happens if I put perfume on. I just itch, as my husband would say, like a loppy dog. So that's something I've found out. I'm going to have a look and see if I can find any hair lacquer that hasn't got any perfume in, because you know when you put it on it has like a perfumey smell about it, and that was perfume in the lacquer. And I also have trouble with flaky skin on my face, and I've come to the conclusion it's been when I go to bed, I don't usually bother combing the lacquer out of my hair, and I think the lacquer's been going onto my pillow. And what I had been doing lately is changing the pillow every day or turning it over, so I change it every 2 days, and that seemed to help. And I've come to realise it must be the lacquer, the perfume of the lacquer, because it's only my face where I have that trouble with like flaky skin around here and across the top, and that's been where my face has been on the pillow. And it must be it's only about in the last 5 years I've become allergic to perfume. I don't know why, but things must happen as you get older. You must become allergic to things as well. So that's something. I'm hoping that's what it is. So I'm not going to put any more lacquer on my hair and see what happens. But I do religiously nearly every week. Every time I've washed my hair, I've always put lacquer on to keep it in place with being so fine. And I'm starting to wonder whether it's been that's caused my hair to get so thin, because my fringe has practically disappeared. You can see my scalp through the hair, and I'm wondering if that's what's caused that as well. That'll probably never ever come back again, but never know. So I will update you when I find out. So that's just a little bit for today. I haven't had time until now to do any videos because I've been out. Well, I went out down my granddaughter's for 2, but I didn't have time in the morning to do anything. So that's why my video was late today. So give a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll let you know whatever happens. Bye for now.